Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Anand Oswal, Senior Vice President Engineering, Cisco Enterprise Networking.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to all of you joining online. Today, constant innovation is causing businesses and industries to change at an unprecedented speed. 63% of all the CEOs believe that they'll change their business model in the next 2 years. Now, this constant innovation can be an opportunity as well. If you think about it, in every single disruption that we see in the industry, the network has been the common theme. Today, our lives and businesses are dependent on a modern network like never before. But networks were simple once upon a time. If you rewind about 20 years ago, the job of networks was maybe to connect a few PCs to a server or to a mainframe computer. And the biggest challenge with security was ensuring people don't get physical access to these devices. And then we had the laptop era and the mobile phone era, with employees now wanting to access the enterprise services from home and on the go. And the job of IT was to ensure the right person can access the right application from the enterprise. But networks today are complex. And why is that so? Think about it. Applications are no longer in the data center alone. They're in the cloud, and they're in multiple clouds. We, as users in the enterprise, can bring our own device. We're also on the go. We're accessing the resources from the office, from home, and wherever we are. And on top of that, you have a slew of IoT devices coming in the enterprise. This is making the job of IT really difficult. And the threat landscape has increased tremendously with all of these IoT devices coming onto the network. And that results in very high cost to run and manage the network. For every dollar that you spend on buying network equipment, you're spending about $3 to run, to manage, to monitor the network, to keep the lights running. And majority of the things that you do on the network today are manual, device by device basis. You got to make sure they're secure. And you need to make sure that they're not error prone. You want to minimize those errors, those policy violations. This is really making the job of IT really, really hard. And it's very hard for them to keep up with all this. The network is complex to operate. Wired network, wireless network, VPNs, IoT devices, and managing all this with unified security and policy. It's complex for them. And with all the IoT devices coming on board, with branches now having direct internet access, with applications now sitting everywhere, the threat landscape has increased tremendously. And it's very difficult to secure the network. And to add on top of that, there's very few insights that IT has that can connect the user from the access network over the WAN into a data center and in the cloud. A new approach is needed to build modern enterprise networks that moves away from the manual, the per hop by hop configuration, which is rigid and error prone, to a new way, an automated way, with analytics and security embedded in the entire fabric. A network that is driven by intent and has all the context from the devices in the network, that gets smarter and smarter the more you use it. And that's exactly what we announced about 20 months ago, intent-based networking. To say it very simply, what intent-based networking does is that allows IT to specify the exact business outcome you want through policies. For example, you have a video conference call at 10 a.m. That's the intent that you want. Or you want to roll out a new application on the network. Now that's the intent again. And then translate this intent into a series of operations that needs to happen on the network fabric. Not on a device-by-device basis, but embedded across the entire fabric through automation, through programmability. But that's not enough. You want to glean insights from the network. Get that context from the network and feed it back into the system to give you trends and insights that you were not able to see before. Help your network become even smarter and drive that feedback loop with things like machine learning and artificial intelligence. Now, over the last 18, 20 months, we've announced a series of software innovations around intent-based networking, DNA Center, software-defined access, DNA assurance. Earlier on the keynote today, I talked about Cisco DNA spaces. Today, I'm going to zoom in a little bit on Cisco software-defined WAN. Majority of the customers are expecting to make a decision around software-defined WAN in the next 12 to 18 months. And a few months ago, we announced a series of innovations around software-defined WAN. Full stack security. So if you're deploying SD-WAN solutions in your branch or in your colo environment, you make sure that it's completely secure. Full integration with Cisco Umbrella. So now with a few clicks, you can have Umbrella integrated within your branch routers. And that applications that we all love, how do we ensure that we optimize the performance of those applications no matter where they are? So working with partners, we're now able to optimize the application performance for, say, Office 365 by over 40%. To tell us more about software-defined WAN and security and the power of those together, I'm going to invite Kureli Sankar. Kureli is a lead TME architect within the enterprise networking group at Cisco. Hi, Kureli. How are you doing today? Great.
Fantastic. Hello, everyone.
So Kureli, software-defined WAN is on top of mind for our customers.
That's right.
What are the use cases that we can enable that customers want that bring software-defined WAN and security together?
I will tell you all about that, Anand. We have a few use cases consolidated after we talk to hundreds of our customers and partners. The first one that you see here is our compliance use case. In this use case, our enterprise customers strictly want to be compliant. In order to be compliant, they would want all of the packets that are leaving their branches to go anywhere inspected by a stateful firewall and an intrusion prevention system. No internet traffic goes in the clear right out of the branch to the internet. The second use case that you see here is the guest access use case. In this use case, enterprise customers expect guests to walk into their enterprise offices, branch offices, with their own smart devices, an iPhone, iPad, such Android devices. And they are liable to provide good enough content filtering for these guests to avoid litigation. Just the guests' internet traffic goes out in the clear from the branch to the internet. The rest of the employees' internet traffic still gets tunneled over the VPN tunnel all the way to the headquarters and then goes to the internet, just like the previous use case we saw. The third use case is the direct cloud access use case. In this use case, the enterprise customers want their employees to get optimal performance, specifically when they use specific SaaS applications, such as Salesforce, WebEx, Box, AWS. For those applications, they want to route them directly from the branch to the internet. Still, continue to tunnel the rest of the internet traffic all the way to the headquarters and then send them to the internet. The last and final use case that we see here is the direct internet access use case. In this use case, no internet traffic rides over the VPN tunnel. We send all of the internet traffic that is generated by the guests, employees, right from the branch to the internet. So when you go across the left to the right of the screen, we expose more and more clear traffic from the branch directly to the internet, which increases the attack surface. And this is where SD-WAN security, the full security stack that we have FCS in December, comes into the picture.
So Kureli, it's great to see a clear articulation of the customer use cases, right? Very crisply defined. How do we ensure, or how do we explain further to the audience, how do we solve this with our SD-WAN solution?
I'm going to show you right that in the next slide here. The security stack that we're bringing in, the first one is the enterprise firewall that is application aware. We've integrated our stateful firewall with our NBAR 2 engine to be able to provide visibility into 1,400 different applications. Now we're able to configure a single rule, a firewall rule, as well as tie that with the application and be able to drop individual applications, or you can group certain applications together or a category of applications. The next one, plus that enterprise firewall offers segmentation, apply policies between segments and who can talk to who, as well as that offers PCI compliance. The next one is the intrusion prevention. Snort IPS intrusion prevention, the most deployed intrusion prevention system in the world. Powered by our own Talos organization, it provides up to 15,000 signatures, real-time monitoring. And this solution also offers PCI compliance. We provide an option to whitelist signatures should you see a lot of false positives. The next one is the URL filtering. By the way, all three are on-box, on-prem features. With this URL filtering feature, we get up to 82 different categories that you could block or allow, as well as block based on web reputation score. Optionally, we provide whitelisting, blacklisting, as well as customized block pages that the end users will see should they browse to an inappropriate category. The next feature that we're bringing in is the cloud integrated security feature. This is providing content filtering at the DNS layer. We don't have to look within HTTP or HTTPS packets. Just based on the DNS request, we proxy that out to our umbrella cloud, and based on that, we could provide content filtering. That's this.
That's great.
Full
Clearly
stack.
explain all the use cases that can solve the customer's problems. Kureli, our goal is to really provide our end users the best safety and protection without compromising it. But we also want to make sure that we have the best experience for the network administrator of the network.
Correct.
And more, network administrators want software-defined WAN and security to be configured using a single pane of glass, monitor it, troubleshoot it, all in a holistic fashion. So what do you have for that?
If only I got a quarter for every time a customer asked me for a single pane of glass, I'd be a millionaire now. Let me show you how we used to do that. Just one feature, URL filtering, about 40 to 50 CLI lines.
That looks super complicated.
By line, by line. Yes. Now, if you look at the steps involved, there are about 8 different steps. And you need to touch each and every single router and configure all of these steps.
All of them, and then that'll be error prone because you're doing it manually.
Absolutely. You could accidentally shut an interface down or mistype an IP address or mask. And if you follow that, if you have 300 different routers, just imagine the time it would take to configure all of them. About 300 hours. Now let me show you our single pane of glass. Very easy. With our vManage, it's all intent-based. You tell us what your intention is, we show you the workflow to accomplish that intention. We configure, click on Add a Policy, and with a few button clicks, we can add the categories that you want to allow or drop and be able to complete that feature configuration very simply.
The power of automation really coming into play.
Exactly, and guess how much this is going to take? 3 hours instead of 300 hours, folks. Guess how much time you got left? About 297 hours. How much does that equate to? 7.5 weeks of time.
Wow, that's a lot of time.
Yeah, imagine what you can do with that.
I could take a long vacation.
Exactly, with your whole family.
Right. So, Kureli, our customers also want to see that they can monitor and troubleshoot things happening on the WAN in real time.
Exactly, yes.
How can we do that?
Yes, let me show you how that is done. This is the vManage overall dashboard. What you see in the red rectangle here is our intrusion prevention widget that we've added. Ideally, you shouldn't see anything here. But in this case, we see certain violations have been triggered.
Wow. So in this case, I see violations here, but how do I know which branch, which device, which user? How do I drill it down?
Yes, we can do that. If you click on that little magnify or making bigger icon there, what we could show you is the enterprise-wide overview of what signature was triggered in all of the routers on your SD-WAN fabric. Not just that, you can drill that further down and we show you how many routers in your entire enterprise contributed to the same signature getting fired. You can drill that even further down and we show you the user level granularity, the source IP address, the destination IP address, the VPN that it belongs to or that it lives off of, and how many times that signature was fired. And you can switch the time frame as well and get visibility drilling down.
So power of SD-WAN and security coming together. If you want to learn more about SD-WAN and security, Kureli has a detailed session tomorrow at 8 a.m. I encourage you guys to join it. Thank you, Kureli.
Thank you, Anand. Thanks, everyone.
The innovations around software-defined WAN and security are going to be a game changer. But we're just getting started. You're going to soon see us driving innovations to have advanced security features, malware protection, sandboxing, file hashing, solutions when the internet goes dark, which means everything is encrypted, and more solutions around security analytics. SD-WAN and security is going to be a game changer for this industry. Let me now switch gears to talk about the access network and innovations in the access network. About 18 months ago, we announced the first series of Catalyst 9000 switches. And the Catalyst 9000 series of our product line now is the fastest ramping product in the history of the company. Yes, it's the fastest ramping product in the history of the company. And about a few months ago, we announced new additions to the Catalyst 9000 portfolio. The Catalyst 9200 switch for the small customers, the commercial customers, and the new Catalyst 9800 wireless LAN controller, bringing the wired and wireless networks together on a common fabric. So now you can build any network with the Catalyst. Pick the internet access points, the switch that meets your demands, and the wireless LAN controller that meets your requirements. But more and more our customers are telling us that they want to have all the advanced features which have been available on the access portfolio for years. But they want to deploy it in a simplistic manner. They want us to hide the complexity from them. They're looking for simplicity without compromise. To tell us more how we can build access networks with the mantra of simplicity without compromise, I'm going to call Manisha Gupta, our product manager in the access networking at Cisco.
Hello, Anand.
Hi, Manisha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So access networks is a very critical part of a customer's environment.
It is.
Wired, there's wireless, there are IoT devices. So I thought we'll tell our audience today on how we can build access networks with the mantra of simplicity without compromise.
Perfect.
So for that, we're going to do a little role play. I'm going to act like I'm the owner of a hotel chain. It was always my dream to own some hotels. So I'd like to have it come true. And Manisha is my top IT admin.
I love it.
Okay. So Manisha, I want to open a new hotel in Melbourne. It's going to be a small hotel, 50 to 75 beds.
Okay.
I want to make sure that we can open this hotel soon. Everything is ready except the network. So we're ready for the holiday season. What can you do for me?
Well, I'm here to tell you that we got you all covered for that holiday season.
All right.
Okay. So you said you needed to be up and running. So I'm guessing 3 to 4 weeks, just like we
3 to 4 weeks, Manisha.
Well,
as usual, you're slow. I need this up in a week.
Well, that's how long it took us to bring up the other 3 sites in Melbourne and Sydney. So yeah, 3 to 4 weeks. But before you interrupted me, what I was going to tell you is with Cisco's new tools and solutions, it won't take 3 and 4 weeks. Okay, it will take just a few minutes.
Look at that. She first said 3 to 4 weeks, and now she's saying few minutes. Manisha, are you toying with me?
I'm not kidding with you. Let's get started.
Okay, let's see what you got.
All right. So this is the DNA Center dashboard, Anand.
Okay.
Okay, and if you have not seen this before, this is the master command center for our entire network. And this is the one place that I come to for anything I need to do on the network, whether it's provisioning, whether it's troubleshooting, whether it's any kind of moves, adds, and changes.
Okay.
Right. So as you can see, I can see my entire network through this one common dashboard.
Okay.
So you have 2 hotels in Sydney, and you have 1 in Melbourne, And now you're looking to open a fourth one in Melbourne again, since
Yes.
you love the city so much, right? So you can see that site is already showing up on the dashboard.
Okay.
And I haven't even configured it.
Okay.
So do you know how that works?
No, I don't.
Okay. So that works because of something called plug and play.
Okay.
Okay,
What
now-
is plug and play?
Plug and play is an application that runs on top of DNA Center. And it's really true to its name, wherein you just plug in the devices, you power them on, and they start showing up on the dashboard.
So it's
And
like magic.
It's like magic,
Okay.
right? And all you have to do is quickly, provision them, claim them, and boom, your network is up and running in a few minutes.
Okay.
So do you want me to show you?
Yes, please.
All right. So you go under provision, and you can see there is a tab for plug and play.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got there. So we have a switch. Now, since this was a small site, I thought like a switch with a few access points is good enough to start with.
Yes.
And we can expand, as we need in the future. So I'm just going to go ahead and claim the switch. And out of the 4 hotels that we have, 2 of them are about 300 rooms. The third one is about 150 rooms, and this one is much smaller. So
Yes.
what I've done is, to simplify my job, I have created 3 templates for our network, which are standardized templates based on Cisco's best practices. Now, you always tell me that you want your IT networks to be the best of breed. So
Absolutely.
I just blindly follow what Cisco tells me to do.
Great.
Okay, they just know how to build networks.
So you created templates for sizes of hotels, so in case we expand further in future, you can now take the same approach and replicate it.
Exactly, right?
Right.
So in this case, I'm just going to take the small branch template, and I'm going to apply it on all the devices that we have on this site. So let's call this Mel3.
Okay.
Should we call it Mel3? All right. And so as you know, I love CLI,
Yep.
right? And I love the UI as well. But I always like to make sure that whatever configuration is getting applied to my infrastructure, I always go and double check that.
Okay.
So what DNA Center dashboard does is, from this single pane of glass, it can show me the configuration that I'm about to push to our network devices.
So even though you configure everything through the workflow, if you want to go and see a configuration of a specific device, you can
Yeah.
always see how it's exactly configured.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
great.
as you can see, the only configuration I applied was the host name.
Yep.
And you can see that host name is now showing up in the configuration. And this configuration, once I claim the device, is going to be pushed to the network. So let's do that. I claim, and you can see my network is provisioned and it's up and running.
Up and running. I think that in most of our hotels, we also have wireless access, but I didn't see you talk about how you configured Wi-Fi. So how is it up?
Yeah, so well, that's the beauty of plug and play. So anything and everything that was behind my switch
Yeah.
got configured as well. Remember the small branch template?
Yes.
That's what took care of it.
Ah.
So let me show you what your network looks like. So you go under topology, and you can see that Mel3 switch right there. And we have 2 Ethernet access points that are connected to the switch. So both your wired and wireless network is now up. Now, you can also see there are 2 wired hosts. Do you have any idea what those are?
I don't know, but are they the cameras that we recently got?
Yes, the 2 cameras are now installed at the front door
Okay.
near the reception, and that's what this is. So your entire IT and OT network is now running on a common underlying
So
infrastructure.
you're telling me now that you configured the wired network, the wireless network, and both the wired network, wireless network, and now cameras, the OT, are sharing the same physical infrastructure.
They are,
And it's
they
up
are.
and running already.
It is up and running.
Now, Manisha, I've heard a lot in the news about people using IoT devices like cameras, then attacking malware from that by taking control of that. So how do we ensure our hotel is secure?
Well, as your IT admin, I would never build a network for you that wasn't secure.
Okay.
Okay? So the first step in security is making sure each and every device user that's connected to your network has the right level of access. Now, since this is a small site, what I did was I enabled access control through Cloud Active Directory. In our case, we already have an account with Microsoft Azure,
Okay.
so that's what I'm using. And because of that template that I applied, it's all pre-configured. So let me show you. So we go back to DNA Center. Under Design Network Settings, I go to the site that we just created, Mel3. And you can see that Cloud Active Directory. Microsoft Azure is already configured for this
Based
site.
on the template you use, it already decided how
It's
you
already configured. So why don't you try to connect to this new network using your iPad
should. Okay, let me go to my iPad.
and use the Active Directory credentials that you already have?
Okay, I'm going to first try on my iPad and get onto the Wi-Fi network. I see hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Join. Trust. So
There you go.
I should be up and running.
Yes.
Now, as you know, Manisha, I'm a big fan of cricket, like many
know.
Australians here. So let's see if we can access the live streaming website.
Loading, loading, and there
There you go, it's working. So I'm now able to access the network. But Manisha, thinking about this, I know that our concierge worker, Ethan, also loves cricket.
Your entire staff loves cricket.
Okay. But I want to make sure that when my staff is in the hotel and I have guests, that they are serving the guests and not watching cricket and ignoring what the guests need. So how do I ensure that I can put some checks and balances for this?
Okay, so that's step 2 in security,
Okay.
right? How do you have the right policies in place to make sure that you only see traffic on your network that you intend to see, and anything that you don't want to see? In your case, it's live streaming.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, you have so many guests coming, leaving, employees, and everybody else. You don't want them to be accessing something which is inappropriate,
Right.
accidentally or intentionally, right? So that's where Cisco Umbrella comes into play, that allows me as an IT admin to very easily configure and deploy those policies on your network.
Okay.
Now, I will do that, but let me tell you, the threat landscape is changing so fast, and you are on top of news, and you know
Yeah.
this, right? So as an IT admin, it's super important for me that I have full visibility into what's coming in and
Yes.
what's going out of your network, who's connecting, who's disconnecting. And that's where Cisco Stealthwatch solution helps. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I will show you how easy it is to enable both these services from DNA Center onto this newly created site.
Okay.
And these are like step 1, step 2, step 3 in security: access control, threat protection, and detection, right?
Okay.
Just like security is 3 steps, enabling these services is also like 3 clicks.
She makes everything sound simple, right?
It is, it is. That's the power of DNA Center.
Okay, let's see.
Let me show you. So I go back to provision, and you see there's a tab for services. And you can see we have 2 services that are ready to be deployed.
Yes.
So let me go one by one. I select Cisco Umbrella. I select the site Melbourne, and click 1. You want to deploy now.
Yeah.
Click 2, click 3, and we are done. Umbrella is now activated, working, configured all the policies on the network, and you will not be able to see that cricket stream anymore. Now, while we are on DNA Center, I will enable Stealthwatch Cloud as well.
Okay.
Okay. So go back to Services, Stealthwatch, select the site, click 1. You want to deploy now since you're in such a rush. Click 2. And that's it.
So you're able to get all the advanced security features, but have it consumed very simply.
Everything is.
So I should not be
configured.
able to access the same website on the iPad now, right?
Why don't we try that?
Okay, let's see my iPad. Okay, it's working.
It is working.
That's great.
All right.
So, Manisha, you also mentioned about Stealthwatch. So what exactly is Stealthwatch and how does it work?
So Stealthwatch, let me show you how the dashboard looks like. This is what the Stealthwatch dashboard looks like. It's one place for me to come and see what's happening in the network, right? What anomalies are there, if there are any alerts that I need to be aware of. But what I'm most excited about when I talk about this dashboard to anybody like yourself is, do you see these blue bars that say encrypted?
Yeah.
So you know that more and more traffic is getting encrypted on the internet. So what this cognitive threat analytics does is it takes all the telemetry data from our infrastructure, which is the Catalyst 9000 series and the Aeronet access points. So all that telemetry data, all the net flow data is getting pushed to the cloud, where Stealthwatch is applying intelligent insights that it gets from Cisco Talos.
So we're now able to see malware even in encrypted traffic.
Even in encrypted traffic, right?
Wow.
So that's called the encrypted traffic analytics from Cisco, which I think is a real innovation in terms of not just malware detection, but also in terms of saving so much cost by detecting malware
Right.
without decrypting the traffic.
Okay.
right? So I can see any devices that are impacted, and looks like your iPad seems to be compromised. And
Wow.
I hope that's not intentional.
I hope not. I'm
What
not
have
sure
you been
happened.
browsing?
I'm not sure what happened. Can you do something about it?
I can take it off the network right now.
That'll be great.
Okay, so let me show you. So let's look at your user profile, and I see you have an iPad. So what I'll do is I'll just quarantine the iPad, right?
Okay.
And when I quarantine the iPad, you lose network connectivity.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
that's how easy it is with Cisco Stealthwatch solution to monitor what's going on in the network and take corrective action
That's
immediately.
great. So as you were seeing, we're able to get up a network, a wired and wireless network with IT and IoT devices with very ease. Simplicity without compromise. Access network, the security, advanced security features. All that was done, and Manisha, you didn't ask for new budget, so thank you.
Well, I think I deserve a raise now.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you,
you.
Anand.
So you were able to see how a mid-sized hotel chain was able to get a lot of benefits from the power of intent-based networking. And what we are seeing is that this is across all our customer base. They are seeing the power of automation, the power of analytics, the power of security across the entire enterprise embedded. No need for manual per-device configurations. They're able to glean the insights from the network, and they're able to make this network even more secure. Now, Cisco has a broad solution for intent-based networking, and I talked about it earlier. From the access to the WAN, to the data center, and in the cloud. And only Cisco has the most comprehensive solution. And Cisco is also working on stitching these multiple domains more seamlessly. We want to work with you to help you navigate on this journey. Thank you.